Today we shall talk about the Flag Smashers, the primary antagonists of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, why they fail to connect with the audience, and why we care so little about them. This video contains spoilers. Number 1. Detachment from the protagonist. In traditional storytelling, there exists a connection between the protagonist and the antagonist. Ideally, they are the opposite faces of the same coin. That is, opposite people based on a single spectrum. The antagonist exists as a barrier between the protagonist and his desires. Thus, the conflict between the heroes and the villains results in the growth of the protagonist. However, the growth of Sam and Bucky, that is, the protagonist, is completely independent and detached from the actions of the Flag Smashers. The actions of the villains should at least trigger the growth of the heroes, but we see two different storylines existing simultaneously but rarely intersecting with each other in any meaningful way. Number 2. No impact on the storyline. The actions of the Flag Smashers throughout the series are not problematic enough to cause a serious threat given the scope of the story. All they seem to do is run from authorities, run from the power brokers, steal supplies, kill innocent people. These are not plot altering events. These are logistical duties that I suppose any terrorist organization must have to undertake. The Flag Smashers claim that their goal is of one world. Never once did I feel that anything that they were doing was connected to their goal of one world. This paints them in a poor light. Either they are stupid or they are highly incompetent. Technically, they are super soldiers, but this fact is never really utilized to make their goal a reality. They are able to run away from the authorities, not because they are super soldiers, but they are being helped by different people all around the world. Had they been replaced by mercenaries with an agenda, it would not have made much of a difference to the storyline. Number 3. No worthy plan. The Flag Smashers lacked a realistic goal to make their dream of one world a reality. Throughout the series, the actions of the Flag Smashers adds more resolve to the original plans of the GRC, which is exactly the opposite of the plans of Flag Smashers. Whenever the Flag Smashers steal or kill the innocents, we hear the GRC is strengthening their original plans of deportation. So whatever they were doing, it was not working. In fact, exactly the opposite of what they wanted to kept happening. Their original plan was a mess. Let's say they were successful in kidnapping GRC council members. Then what? Negotiate with the authorities to cancel these deportation programs, and then they would let these GRC members go free? So what's stopping the authorities to resume these deportation programs after these GRC members are let free? The plan is stupid to say the least. Had Sam and Bucky not intervened and made their case for them, they would have just died as terrorists and their efforts would have amounted to nothing. Instead, I would argue that things would have been much worse. It would have helped tremendously if they had a solid plan which required the use of their super strength, as the super strength was their unique selling point. An example would be that they acquire a specific type of bomb that is undetectable, and they acquire this bomb from a seedy place like Madripoor, but they require special skills and superhuman strength to retrieve it. They intend to use these bombs on crucial borders of the world and explode them, resulting in literally one world. This would result in massive deaths in regions along these borders, but the Flag Smashers are willing to pay the price of few for the sake of many. This will be one part of the plan. The other part would be erasure of central databases of all the major countries. These databases contain the identification of all the individuals residing in a country. The destruction of such databases and borders would create the original plans of GRC of deportation quite problematic. Now, it's just an example, even if it's a crazy, unrealistic one, but it fulfills the criteria of having serious danger to the world by the hands of the Flag Smashers, as well as using their unique selling point of super strength. Number 4. No suffering. The series clearly wants us to empathize with the Flag Smashers, even if we despise their methods. It is inferred that they had to take such drastic measures because they were desperate. However, I had so little concern for them that I cheered John Walker as he beat the shit out of them in the last episode. If you want the audience to care about a particular character, you need to show that character's strength and flaws. What makes them tick? What makes them happy? What gets under their skin? But most importantly, if an antagonist has taken an extreme position, and if you want the audience to care about that antagonist, you need to clearly show what suffering that antagonist went through to take such an extreme position. And by showing, I mean actually show, don't tell. In The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, all the suffering of Flag Smashers is told to us, not shown. Let's imagine another scenario. We are looking at a flashback where the friends of the Flag Smashers are being deported by the GRC forcibly. Among these people are also small children who are being separated from their families. These people, when deported back to their countries, are dying because lack of supplies in those countries. We are shown a younger Carly who is lost but is sheltered by Donya Madani. In a later flashback, we see Donya Madani dying, not from a disease, but when she came in between the GRC police and deportation of some small children. In a scuffle, she gets shot and the GRC police blame it on the refugees. We also see people in the refugee camps, women and children, starving to death because of some policies implemented by the GRC. The audience would have cared about the flag smashers if they were shown the problematic situation they were growing up in. Past pain of an antagonist is important in understanding his or her psychology. This is absent for the flag smashers in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Whenever spend any meaningful time with the flag smashers, they feel like a burden to a much more interesting story happening elsewhere with our titular characters. So this was my take on why we don't care about the flag smashers. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.